The market also paying close attention to the events in the Middle East. And joining us right now is Mohamed El-Erian. He is Gramercy and Allianz advisor and president of Queen's College, Cambridge. And Mohamed, last week after the jobs report, you said that a soft landing was much less likely, that there's a risk of something breaking. How do you now assess everything with this added on top of it?
So, Becky, given what's happened over the weekend, and my thoughts and prayers are with the families and friends of those who lost loved ones and all the other innocent people who are either missing or have been taken hostage. Look, this makes the U.S. outlook even more difficult. I think the key question, and you've got some really good guests coming up, is this conflict contained or does it bring in other parties? So far, the markets are trading as if it's contained. But if this expands and brings in other parties, then the outlook is for even a weaker global economy, even more inflationary pressures, and the markets are going to be finding it hard to deal with that.
Look, there's the idea that's been not 100% confirmed at this point, but a very likely idea that we've already got Iranian involvement with this. So if Israel retaliates against the Iranians, is that what you're talking about by expanding?
So you can see a scenario, and again, you have other people who can speak with more authority, a scenario in which Israel retaliates against Iran, Iran gets engaged, Syria and Lebanon start being a much more active front. It's active now, but much more active. And then you've got a significant war going on. And then ask the question, what's going to happen with Ukraine at this point and Russia? What's going to happen with China? So this is why the big question for the markets and for the economy is whether you get escalation. If you look at the way we're trading right now, it is a somewhat higher risk of escalation, but not significant. And that's the major call. It
doesn't even feel much like that. I mean, 150 points down in the Dow, you can walk on any given morning and see.
Correct, and only 4% oil up. If you look at government bonds around the world, yields haven't come down in any meaningful manner. So the market is treating this as a contained issue. And I think that's the major question that has to be debated. Does it remain contained?
What would you advise? What would you do in the markets today? It sounds like you think there should be a higher premium built into this.
If you step back, we are every day facing more and more uncertainties. And this is what you get when you have geopolitical tensions. This is what you get when growth is insufficient. And this is what you get when you get policy mistakes. So, yes, we are on this road where we seem to get crises. You know, Andrew and I were at an event where we talked about geopolitical issues. That issue wasn't even mentioned. And this was a couple of weeks ago. And you had geopolitical experts. And it wasn't even mentioned. So, you know, it's another unthinkable that has become reality.
Just in terms of how you would be looking at this, some people have pointed back to the 1973 Yom Kippur War. Other people look at this and say, okay, you're running into trouble from maybe not great financial crisis levels of things, but the idea that things break. I mean, that's what you were talking about last week. What do you look out and think could potentially break?
So last week when I was talking about this is because you had the combination of three things. You had a significant move up in yields. Since the end of the second quarter, the 10-year had moved up 100 basis points. That is a significant move. You had a significant move up in oil, and you had a significant move up in the dollar. Historically, those three things happening break something. They tend to break something in the financial system. And the market concern is that we haven't even finished with interest rate risk, and then there's credit and liquidity risk there. So that was the issue, is pay attention to what has happened over the last few months, because historically, that is not a great combination for the economy or for the markets.
You talk about policy mistakes. You mean the Fed continuing to raise rates potentially or keep them higher for longer?
You've heard, I think the Fed has done enough. But this assumes that you're willing to acknowledge what I think is true, which is we live in a world of inflexible supply, and the Fed has to get used to the notion that 2% inflation is not the right target to get to quickly.
Mohamed, I think everyone just had a viewpoint that the Middle East had been, I don't know, it wasn't settled, but it seemed a lot more stable. And I know just last week, one of the presidents, Jake Sullivan was saying it's been decades
quieter there than ever.
So now I can only imagine how And the feeling of Israelis at this point must be just they are just beyond furious, and just they want it. There's going to be. We heard Netanyahu say there's going to be a retaliation, like you've never seen. We already know that Palestinians. I don't know whether we thought that was being somehow settled, which it never really was, I guess. But if there's really a lot of carnage in Gaza, which I think we're expecting, this whole thing, we are back to square one on this whole thing. The whole world looks a little different and much more. I think the Middle East is going to be what we've always viewed it as, back to just a complete powder keg. And then you throw in nuclear capabilities with Iran. It seems like the whole world changed over the weekend.
Yeah, I hope we're not back to square one, because Israel has peace treaties with a number of Arab countries, which they didn't have in 1973. But the mistake we all made is that we marginalized the Palestinian-Israeli issue. We assumed that this is all about Israel and other countries. So the Abraham Accords, what happened between Israel and Saudi Arabia, and we marginalized the Palestinian issue, and now the Palestinian issue has imposed itself. This is going to be awful because, understandably, Israel is going to go after Gaza. Gaza, as you all
That's going to just infuriate. And whatever grievances long held the Palestinians, that's just going to be exponentially worse. Right?
It is, and there's going to be a lot of innocent people dying. Right. And those images are going to go around the world.
And each one of them, will scarred for the rest of their life remembering this was because of Israel. And then Israel saying this is because, and it's just, the vicious cycle is going to repeat itself.
That's why, and if you will be talking to people, they'll say that ultimately the question is, can you get a just and comprehensive peace there or not? Otherwise, this cycle will repeat itself. It's 50 years since the 73 war. It's exactly 50 years since the 73 war.